Hello, I'm Henry and this is my updated submission for the week 3 project. Based on the feedback received, I've enhanced my books library API with comprehensive Swagger UI documentation and will demonstrate all CRUD operations, data validation and error handling through interactive Swagger interface. Let me start by showing you the Swagger UI documentation that I have implemented. I'll first go to my API documentation endpoint. As you can see it here, this is my API documentation endpoint. I will follow the link, then click. As you can see, my Swagger documentation for all my books library API. We had two main sections, book and author collection. Each endpoint is thoroughly documented with the request schemas, response codes, and examples. The Swagger UI allows us to test all endpoints interactively, which will clearly demonstrate the proper HTTP status codes and error handling. Now, let me demonstrate data validation. I will use the post API books endpoint to show how validation middleware returns 500 errors for invalid data. Now this is my post API book. Let's say I'm trying to create a new book. I will go to try it out. Come here. Remove all fields. All required fields, remove all required fields. Let's give it a name. Okay, let's use the word textbook. Let's use the word textbook and I will click on execute. You can see the error message. False, validation failed. We had a 400 error code. Validation failed. All fields required like the author, the ISBN, the publication, and the page count required. So we see we've gotten an error message for this particular information. Now let's try to test for an invalid. Let's try to test for an invalid ISBN. I can reset this. You can see my information here in my schema. I will come here and click on test book. Let's assume the author's name is test author. Let's assume it's called a test author and the ISBN is 123, the year 2024. Let's assume that the page count initially was 100. Is a fiction. Okay, that's more like it. Let's use this. So now, or let me insert the description so that we will not use the previous information. Now you have a test pub. Call it test pub. Now I will now execute. You can see the 400 error message. Validation failed. The ISBN must be what, 10 or 13 digits. This system correctly prevents book with invalid ISBN if it doesn't have this number of digits. So now let me demonstrate error handling with the proper static codes. I will go to the get API books. So I will click on the get API books. You can see this to get a specific book. It requires that we get the ID of that particular book. Click on try it out. ID of a particular book. So let's say I am interested in um, a particular book and I try to find it through its ID. Let's say I use an alphanumeric 67RTY 567ERTY 4444 EWRTY, and I'll execute. Now false. You can see the error message here is what? Invalid ID format. So I can also, let me clear, I can also try fetching another book. I can also try fetching another book. Let's say I will use this particular digit 07 F1F77 BC F86 CD 799439011. Let's say I make use of this and I execute. Another error message, book not found. So this test demonstrates comprehensive error handling with appropriate status code. Now let me demonstrate the complete CRUD life cycle through Swagger UI. First, I'll create a new book. Let me close this. I'll create a new book. Let's go back to my create a new book. Okay, we have this book here. So we have the text author. I can decide to use the correct ISBN. Let's just assume the ISBN is 999-888-7777. So let's say the publisher is Swagger Press. So everything stands. So let's try creating this new book and see what we get. Wow, now we have the book created successfully. So we have been able to create the test book successfully in our CRUD operation, our create operation. So now this book has successfully created and is now stored very well in our MongoDB database. So let me try to retrieve all books and see if this particular book has been stored in my library or added to one of my new editions. So let me go to this. First, let me close this. I can decide to close this. Come to this place. Click on try it out. Execute. So I'll scroll down and check. Here I have other book, Home of the Brave, The Lazy World, Of Mice and Ben, Spirit Bound, Spy, and Hair. Now we have the test book. You can see here we have the test book that we are interested in, the test author, the year, and everything. So I can decide to update this my book by changing each page count. You can look here. We have the page count as 100. Let us say I want to update it to 300 page. I can decide to take this. Okay, let's close this place. We can close this. Go to our create book. I can take this information, copy, come here, come to try it out, come to try it out. then paste the information here. I would like to get the correct IP. So we have here, now I want to get the correct ID. Close this. Now look at here, put the information here and put the information here. Okay, change this to 300 and execute. Response. So book updated successfully. Now my initial test book was 100, now it's not what, 300 page count. So the book has been updated with a new page count. I can also do the delete operations. So since we have updated this book, I can decide to delete this book entirely. Let me close this. Here is the delete operation. I will try it out. Put its IP, execute. You can see here book deleted successfully. So my test book has been deleted successfully. So someone can also try to find this book by its ID if they want. You can see in this place you can find book by a specific ID also. So that's one of the features of the Swagger UI. Now this completes my CRUD live demonstration through Swagger UI. I will now try to check that everything is working on my live production development. I will go to my render.com. You can see here, this is my bookrender.com. I'll click on this place. It's loading my render HTTP request dictation. Now here all my books are connected, the authors, the description, and the database also connected successfully. Now I will also try to check this book. By using book collection. Okay, let me try using this. Let me try this /API docs. Let's see what happens. You can see that it displays my live render development, showing the few endpoints to confirm that everything works. So I can also try to check my API using my get book production. So you can see here the get book API production. I can also try it out. Execute. You can see I could fetch all my books in my library correctly, still showing that everything works perfectly and correctly. Let me close this. I can also try the test post. Here is the post. I can also try the test post and execute. You can see we have an error message, ISBN already exists. So we have an error message there showing that my live production is working successfully. So in this demonstration, we have clearly shown all the requirements needed in this assignment. All source codes are available in GitHub with comprehensive Swagger annotation. Thank you for watching this updated demonstration.